Hi there, Royals. This is Sianoki, and it's always a pleasure to have you here. Every now and then, I take a single trip to the mill and I mill my condo, my Tom Brown, and my Hausa Kokodo. This time, I had enough millet, which is the Hausa Kokodo, in the freezer, so I didn't make some. But then I decided to take my corn, my groundnut to the corn mill to make a paste out of it. Yeah, so let's get right into it. To start with, I'll be soaking the corn for 3 days. Usually when I buy the corn myself, I make sure that I select a very clean one, but and I got this from a very generous family member who actually planted and harvested this. Has been storing this for quite a while now, so that's how come he had some weevils and all in it, so I had to clean it before soaking it for 3 days. Now I'm using the same corn for Tom Brown, so I washed it very well because it had a weevils, and then placed it on my parchment paper. I left it overnight and the next day it was dry. I mean, if you are using this for the Tom Brown, you don't have to soak it, you just have to quickly wash it. Now I'm doing this in my oven. Yeah, I just place the corn in my oven, and every now and then I just stir it, and then there it goes. This is quite convenient. When you are doing this, you can multitask. You can just spread it on your tray while you do other things, and then check on it every now and then. Yeah, so alternatively just shake it like this, and yeah, that is done. So this is the first time I'm actually adding guinea corn to my Tom Brown. I saw this in the market. I'm like, okay, this is quite interesting. So this is the first time I'm even seeing guinea corn for the first time. So I'll be using the same process for my Tom Brown. As you may have noticed, if you follow me, I've shared a number of Tom Brown recipes, corn Tom Brown, millet Tom Brown, because that runs fast. In this house. So yeah, the next thing I'm using is that was soya bean. I also went through the same process, and I'll be using bambara beans as well. So I'll be leaving the measurement in my description box so that you can have it. Unfortunately, the corn, I don't know the measurement because it was gifted. I don't know exactly how much it weighed, but you can check on my other Tom Brown videos for the exact measurements. Now that is millet. I'll use the same process for it. Now, when it comes to groundnuts, it's interesting. At our local markets, the price at which you get raw groundnuts, I mean the one that is not roasted, is the same price at which you get a roasted one. So why not? The job had already been done for us, by our generous mothers and sisters in our market. So I just decided to go in for the one that has already been roasted. I'll be milling this into groundnut paste. I'm not using all of this for the Tom Brown. So after peeling it, you can just take it out to an airy place or find a corner in your kitchen like the way I am doing, and get rid of all of that. Yeah, so this is it. And then of course I'm leaving some as a snack. I love garden. So then I add just about a cup to the Tom Brown. You don't want a lot of granite in your Tom Brown. It will get stuck in the mill, or it will make it a bit do it not be like the flour that you may want it. So that was the millet that I took out of the oven, and then I'll just mix everything together, and then I added in some cloves, which is optional. Yeah, so then I'll just set that aside. So now I was doing this on the third day after soaking the corn. If I were doing millet, I'd have soaked it a day before, because millet we soak it for a single day. You can check on my millet video as well. So this is the third day, and then I just drained the water that I used to soak originally, and I'm washing it. See the way I'm washing it this way, because of the insects and everything in it. I just don't want to do it like this. So after I washed it several times like that, about 2 times, the third time I can now confidently put my colander in there and then make sure that I drain all the water out of it.
So
I
I went
took
to
it
the
to the
first
corn mill.
place and I was able to mill the corn dough and the tombrown. But then man says that he will not mill my groundnuts for me. So I'm at this second place that is also very close to home. I've seen it, I've never come here to mill before. So I asked him if you mill the groundnuts for me, and then he says yes, but when he closes at 6, it's about 5:37. So I'm just hanging around and waiting for him to close so that I can mill my groundnuts.
So I'm back home. I have all of them done. Now what I'm going to do is to spread them out and make sure that they all cook completely. The dough cook completely. This is the corn. It cooks completely before I make I turn it into a dough. So I do that by gradually adding water and do what I'm doing right now. Yeah, you don't want to add a lot of water, just a little at a time. So yeah. Now after mixing everything together, I'll just make sure that I use my hand to press on it like this. Just make sure that everywhere is covered. You don't want any air, and then you set it aside for it to ferment for at least 3 days. Ghana is a hot place, so 3 days will do. So yeah, the granite has also cooled. You just make sure that if you are going to mill your granite, you don't want to use a plastic as it comes out very hot. And make sure that you have asked though ask from your area whether they mill granules before you make all your preparations, because the first guy didn't do it for me. I was directed to a place in Tema, but I decided to go and ask this place. Apparently they have places where they mill granules only. So if you have some in your neighborhood, you are blessed. If not, you may want to ask before going ahead to do that. And then the tombrown has also cooled completely, so I am storing it in my airtight containers. Now this is the fifth day, and then our condo has also fermented nicely. I mean, ideally you can even leave it this way, and then whenever you are ready to use it, you just keep the surface and then use it. It's absolutely fine. It can stay out, and it's so cool. But then, I just want to tie them into my plastic bags and then store them in the freezer, and this can be in the freezer for very very long. So usually I take one day to do this. I have my condo, I have my Hausa cocoa that I've checked. You can check on that. I have rice grades, and then you have some brown. Breakfast is sorted. You suffer once and then enjoy the rest. Yeah. So basically that's it. And just some information about the granules. Usually when you are going to mill it, usually they will have to take everything out of the machine. They will mill a lot of the granules get stuck in there, and they will open for you to take it out. So it's a lot of work, and they charge just 3 cedis for that. So most people do not want to do that, and I was charged 10 cedis for the Tom Brown and condo. I hope this motivates you to make your own Tom Brown and other things at home. Thank you so much for joining me, Royals. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Please don't forget to smash the like button, and until I see you again, keep staying safe and stay blessed.